Etsy experts and gurus love recommending products and services that they think you need to grow your Etsy shop, but which ones do you actually need? This is part 2 of the series. Part 1 was about things that you would use for your actual shop, like keyword research and shipping and all of that kind of stuff. Today we're going to be talking about marketing and social media. Basically anything you do off of Etsy. If you didn't catch part 1 yet, that's okay. You can wait until you're finished with this one. I'll have it linked in the description and the end screen. Howdy friends, my name is Abby and this is Type 9 Studio, where I help you start and grow your Etsy shop. I've been a full-time seller on Etsy for over a year and a half. I asked on TikTok which services you have been recommended by other Etsy gurus, so I'm going to rank them from most important to least important, vaguely. This is going to be based on my personal experience and what I would use if I were to start my shop from scratch or start a totally new, like a second shop or something. And some of these are going to be based on experience that I've had on social media for other things. Because I had, and well, I still do have a personal blog about makeup and lifestyle stuff. I just haven't done much with it because I've been busy with this, but that gave me a lot of experience and insight on some of these things as well. I am based in the US, so I'm not 100% sure if all of these will work in other countries. So let's get into it. Sorry, one more disclaimer. So it actually is possible to grow an Etsy shop to be like a full-time thing without any marketing outside of Etsy whatsoever. It is possible, but that is not the norm and not the route that most people are going to take. It will be beneficial for the longevity of your business to have a presence outside of Etsy, like on social media and your own website and stuff like that. So that's what we're going for, building a community outside of Etsy and then having an audience that's going to follow you if you decide to branch out and make a website on your own separate from Etsy. Okay, now let's really get into it. The very first thing I think you need is Canva or some other kind of graphic design software. Canva is ridiculously easy to use. I use it literally every day for something or other with my shop or social media. And later today, I'm going to be using it to edit the thumbnail of this video. I mentioned a lot of ways I use Canva for my Etsy shop specifically in the last video, but it has so many more uses for social media. You can make Instagram posts, Instagram stories, story covers, Reels videos, TikTok videos, YouTube intros and outros like I've done. My outro is actually from Canva. Pinterest pins, your banners for social media, really anything. The pro version of Canva is worth every penny to me, especially if you make content for different platforms. And you don't have to create like separate files for each thing. You can just resize the one you already made for a different platform if it's a different size. And I use the automatic background remover almost every day as well, and that's only available if you have the pro version. You can get started and start using it, see if you like it on the free version. It does have a lot of good things there too. But again, just echoing my last video, make sure that you be careful if you're going to be selling things or using it for like commercial purposes, because there are some things you can use in Canva for that and some things you can't. Usually things like social media posts are fine to use whatever elements of Canva that you want, but if you're going to be like designing and selling digital products and that kind of stuff, just be careful. Like I used, I think this is only on the pro version, but they have music if you make like a video or something with it. They have stock music, but just because you have Canva Pro doesn't mean you have the license to use that stock music. I learned that the hard way. I actually uploaded a video on my other channel and used that as my outro music, and I got dinged for copyright, so be careful. Number 2 is almost equal to number 1 in importance, I would say. I would recommend to start an email list immediately, like as soon as you start your shop. Because you want even your first customers to be able to reconnect with you and to be able to market to them again. This could be its own separate video once I do more research on like the different email providers, but here's just a brief explanation of why you need email marketing. I'm sure you're probably aware of this, but one of the cons of Etsy is that when somebody buys something from Etsy, they say they got it from Etsy. They don't say they got it from so-and-so's shop. So this is why it's important for you to have like a distinct and memorable brand like that will exist outside of Etsy and that people will remember. So your customers will see you as a business and not just another Etsy seller. And one way you can keep your customers engaged is through email marketing. This also guarantees that anybody who's signed up for your email list is going to receive those emails versus posting on social media, which is not guaranteed that all of your followers are going to see it. Like a very, very small fraction of your followers on social media will ever see your posts. So for this, I use Mailchimp personally, and it's still free for me with the number of contacts I have. It's free for up to 2,000 contacts and 10,000 email sends per month, so that's quite a bit. And if you do in-person events or like pop-ups, craft shows, that kind of thing, you can have an email sign-up sheet there, and you can manually add in other contacts to this as well. I'm pretty sure that's not like specific to Mailchimp. I think you can do that with any of them. You don't have to use Mailchimp, that's just the one that I decided to use. From what I've seen, Mailchimp gives you more for free than other ones do. Like you get more contacts for free. A lot of others, especially like really big shops, like way bigger than mine, are going to recommend one called ConvertKit. But that seems to be beneficial for like larger audiences, and if you want to have like separate audiences for things. So like if you want your new followers only to receive certain messages, you can do that. And then you can also send certain messages to like your old followers or like your repeat customers. You can't do that for free on Mailchimp, I know, but ConvertKit has a lot more features and like automation things that you can do, but again, you have to pay for it. There's also an email service called AWeber, which integrates directly with Etsy. And from what I read just researching for this video, it does seem like it's easier to collect emails from Etsy with AWeber. But again, I haven't used it myself. I actually had to go to their YouTube channel and listen to somebody pronounce it because I didn't know how to say it. It's AWeber. But just from some quick research, it does seem like a good option, and you get up to 500 contacts for free, which is a pretty significant amount. You just of course get less features with the free version. And it looks like they have, like I had to go to their YouTube channel to see how to pronounce their name, but it does look like they have a lot of like tutorials and things on their YouTube channel, which is nice. You can always pick one service to start with, and if you don't like it or you want to try something else, you can just copy your list to somewhere else. Something really important to remember though, I'm going to try to mention this whenever I talk about using email marketing. And this doesn't matter what platform you use, AWeber, Mailchimp, ConvertKit, any service, you absolutely have to make sure that you are obtaining consent to collect people's email addresses. It is against Etsy's terms of service and also against the law to just collect people's emails without their consent or them opting in. To do this the right way on Etsy, the way I do it, and other shops do this as well, but you'll have a link to a landing page in your like product description, your announcement section, and your like about section and all that stuff. And then you can have a photo, like your last listing photo will say like, want 10% off, join my email list. The link is in the description, or go to this address. And I made like a bit.ly short link so it's easy for people to type in. You can make a landing page, I'm pretty sure, on any email marketing site. Like it was totally free for me to do on Mailchimp. It's just like a web page that shows my business name and a bit about me, and like it has a little form for people to type in their email address. The bottom line with email marketing, it is essential in my opinion, and I wish I had started it earlier. Email marketing is going to help you build your following and reach your returning customers. And then also by the time you are ready to potentially move off of Etsy, if and when you do that, you're going to have followers already there when you go, versus trying to like cold start a Shopify, which doesn't work. Number 3. Figuring out what content to post on social media is probably the most difficult part in my opinion. Especially for a product-based business, it is bad form to just constantly push your products and nothing else. You need to be posting like helpful or entertaining or like informational content in addition to your product posts. But where do you find this information? How do you figure out what to post? The best place in my opinion is Answer the Public. All you have to do is type in a phrase or like your keyword or something that your products are about, and it will come back and tell you dozens of things that real people are actually searching for related to that topic. I actually use it to find content ideas for Type 9 Studio and for my business as well. So if I'm creating content for Type 9 Studio, I'll type in something like Etsy shop or Etsy seller, and it'll come up with a ton of questions that people are asking about Etsy shops or selling on Etsy. Just make sure you write them down or download. I think you can download a PDF of the results, because you only get 1 or 2 free searches a day. It is really, really expensive to like use their paid version, so I would take advantage of the free ones. This information can give you content ideas for any platform. like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, if you have a blog. This might also give you some ideas on what to put in your product descriptions as well. So if you notice that people are asking a certain question about a particular product that you sell, then you can include that in your descriptions. Number 4, a very similar concept to number 3, but it is Google Trends and Keyword.io. Those two are completely free. The main difference though is Answer the Public is a little bit more in depth. But Google Trends is going to help you predict demand for your products or your niche, and you can see what people are searching for at different times of the year. You can use that information to create content that is relevant and that people are actually searching for or interested in learning about at that particular time. Keyword.io will help you figure out what questions people are asking or what people are searching for about your particular topic. Pretty similar concept to Answer the Public. I used that a lot when I was posting more on my makeup blog. I would just see what questions or like what brands people were asking about. And then I made those search queries my blog post titles. And it helps to see how real people are searching for things because they may use wording or phrases that you may not have thought of. Number 5 is going to be a catch-all about social media scheduling tools. I've used a few of them myself and you guys suggested them a lot in my comments. So let's talk about the different ones and why you may or may not need them. So first things first, if your shop is brand new and you don't have much of a social media following already, you'll want to spend your time at first learning how to use social media apps to market, because it is like everybody feels like you're a social media expert because you look at it all day and use it for like personal entertainment, but that's not the case. So you need to learn how to grow your following and learn the best practices for whatever social media platforms that you're going to be using. So if you just start batch creating and scheduling a lot of content to social media, but it's not effective, it's going to be a massive waste of time and money, especially if you sign up for one of the paid versions. The social media algorithms are constantly changing, so you need to be aware of that as well. Just for example, on Instagram, you cannot grow right now on Instagram if you don't use Reels, whereas a few months ago or a year ago maybe, you absolutely had to post those carousel posts with like more than one photo. And on TikTok, the algorithm just changed and it's now favoring videos that are like 5 to 7 days old. And all that may change by the time I get this posted, who knows? So my suggestion is to just pick 1 or 2 social media platforms, learn about them, learn the newest algorithm stuff, and get really good at those. You don't necessarily need a scheduling app if you don't want to use one. I think if you're not posting regularly anyways, it's probably a waste. I would recommend one if you are wanting to automate some of the process and do it a bit faster, or if you want to start posting more regularly and you have a good idea of how to grow on whatever platform you're using. And if you decide to use one of those platforms or not, I would suggest to batch create your content. Batch creating is fairly self-explanatory, I think, but it's basically when you sit down and plan and create all of the content that you're going to post for the next week or 2 weeks or month or whatever. And this does save a lot of time. You can just pick 1 day a week or 1 day a month and do all of your social media posts and be done with it. Then you'll have them created if you want to post them on your own or if you want to upload them to one of those scheduling services. So when I do this, I just go on Canva and make a bunch of Instagram posts like all in one document and then download them, upload them to my scheduling thing, and that's it. If you're using Facebook and or Instagram, Facebook has a built-in scheduling thing. So you can schedule posts for both Facebook and Instagram with the Facebook Business Suite. Is that what it's called? The Business Suite? And just a side note, if you are going to be using any of these scheduling services, they require you for, like Instagram, I think itself requires you in order to auto post, you need to have an Instagram business account, which requires you to have a Facebook page to link it to, which is really annoying. I cannot emphasize enough how much I absolutely loathe Facebook. The Business Suite and my Facebook page for my business in general never work right. It doesn't send me notifications. It doesn't tell me when I get a new message. It doesn't even show them. Like somebody would be like, hey, I messaged you on Facebook. Like my personal messenger works, but my business one does not work. The Pages Manager app just completely stopped working. I don't know what in the heck is going on. And luckily for me, my target market for my business is not Facebook users anyways, so it doesn't really matter that much, but I do have to deal with it with Instagram. So I avoid Facebook whenever I can. I truly don't understand how some people make it work for them and like use the business suite thing and all that, but good for you, I guess. Keep in mind that with any of these scheduling apps, Instagram does not let you use those to automatically post carousels. So carousels are the Instagram posts with like more than one picture where you have to swipe, you know. You used to be able to, and then Instagram changed it. So I don't know if they'll ever bring it back. So when you want to schedule one of those, you just have to put in the time that you want it to send you a notification, and then once you get the notification, you can go in and post it yourself. In all honesty, most of these scheduling services are going to be pretty much the same. They're just going to have different platforms they integrate with, and also they all have different amounts of accounts that you're allowed to use. Like some of them you can only have one of each, some you can have multiple of each, it just depends. So when you're trying to pick a scheduling service to use, just keep in mind which platforms you want to post to and how many times per month you would need to post on those platforms. There are a lot of them out there, but here are 3 that I have looked into myself or have used myself and have seen mentioned a lot. The first one I ever used was Planoly. I used the free version of it for a while and then used the paid version for a little bit as well. It's free for one Instagram and or Pinterest account for up to 30 posts per month. And that's with like very, very limited features other than just posting things. The one thing that I liked about Planoly that my current one does not have is the ability to like rearrange your feed and see how a new post would look within the aesthetics of your feed. My one I use now doesn't have that, but it's not that big of a deal to me. I would not suggest Planoly for Pinterest. There's actually a different service that I'll mention later on specifically for Pinterest. Planoly could be a good option for you if you're posting less than 30 posts a month and you just want the basic features and don't care about like their analytics or comment replies and that kind of stuff within their app. The one I use now is called Hootsuite. I picked that because it is more has more features and is more cost effective for what I need personally. It has a free version, but it is very, very limited. I have their base level paid version, and it is good for up to 10 different social media accounts. And you have unlimited posts per month, and it's $29 a month. I have a lot of different accounts that I keep up with between Type 9 Studio and my business, and with my personal blog stuff as well. So Hootsuite works with Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. I only mainly use it for Instagram. Sometimes I'll use it for Twitter. A feature I wish they would add, in addition to like the feed layout thing, like I mentioned with Planoly, is I wish they would add a way to save hashtag lists, because I think Planoly did that as well. The most popular one that I see recommended is Later. And actually when I looked into Later for this video, I remembered why I picked Hootsuite over Later. So on Later, you can only have one social set. So you can only have one Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, and LinkedIn account. And it's an extra charge per month for each additional set that you want to have. That did not work for me because I have 3 Instagram accounts. So that would make it $45 a month, which would be more than what I'm paying now, which is $29 a month. But Later could be an option for you if you only have one of each account. Again, just look at the different services and see which one will be right for you based on which platforms that they integrate with and how many posts you can have per month. Finally, on to the last one. We have Pinterest and Tailwind. So just a disclaimer, I am an affiliate with Tailwind, which means I would get a commission if you sign up for Tailwind with my link and you purchase a plan. I actually only used it for my makeup blog stuff and haven't sat down to get it like set up for my shop or even Type 9 Studio yet. But I am definitely going to be using it for Type 9 Studio. Well, I say it, I mean like Pinterest and Tailwind together, you know. But I'm definitely going to be using it for my blog whenever that gets set up. I don't know. I do have a Pinterest account and a few pins for my shop, but I haven't touched it in a while. And according to my Etsy analytics, I do get a few clicks, like a few views from Pinterest per month, but I'm not sure if that's from my old pins or from like people who are posting my stuff on Pinterest, if that makes sense. I will say though, if you're wanting to use Pinterest and want to see like serious results, I think Tailwind is a necessity. The website itself and the plans that you can pick have changed a little bit from when I used it a few years ago. It looks like now you can link one Instagram and one Pinterest in the same account. Before, when I used it, they had to be like separate accounts, so I've never used it for Instagram. It basically just takes the guesswork out of using Pinterest because Pinterest is vastly different than other social media platforms. Pinterest is basically a visual search engine, so you have to know how to treat it as such. Tailwind has a lot of resources and guidance on how to use Pinterest effectively. It has a feature that will automatically generate pins for you. So you can upload whatever random product photo you want to promote on Pinterest. You can upload that one photo and tell it your branding colors and your fonts, and it will create like a ton of different pins like about that photo, but in different styles, so that way all the pins look a little bit different. And those kind of photos do better on Pinterest than just a image with no text or anything. And they have a feature called Tailwind Communities where you can connect with other Pinterest users in your niche, and you can pin and promote each other's posts. So once I start using it for Type 9 Studio, I can give you like more detailed information. Right now I haven't used it in a while, so it's changed a bit since then. And something I wanted to throw in here, just as a caution, if you're using Pinterest to promote your Etsy shop, be careful what link you use. Do not link to a specific listing if you're going to make a pin about your product, because the way Etsy works, when you make a listing and it sells out and then you relist it, that's a completely new link. So the old link is going to be broken after it sells out. So always link to your main shop page when you make a pin, or at least link to the shop section that the product is in. That way the link is not going to break and then your pin is basically useless. So the bottom line, I think with Pinterest specifically, a lot of people are saying that it is an absolute necessity for your shop, but it is not. Like, I'm a full-time seller and barely promoted my stuff on Pinterest, so it's possible to not use it. And also the thing with Pinterest is that you may get a lot of impressions, but you may not necessarily get a lot of clicks and sales from it. It's kind of like TikTok, where it's a really wide funnel where you have the potential to get a lot of traffic, but not guaranteed to get a lot of like people coming down the funnel, you know, to like actually buying things. The bottom line with Tailwind is I think it is essential if you want to grow your Pinterest and market your shop or whatever business you have that way. And I think Tailwind specifically is really like the only good option because it is built specifically for Pinterest, whereas the other apps are not really, they don't really work the way that Pinterest does. So like if you use one of the other scheduling services like I talked about, it's not really going to give you the same result because it's not built specifically for Pinterest. So like your strategy with Instagram is not going to work on Pinterest because you need at least several, if not dozens of pins per day on Pinterest to get traction. That's going to get really old really fast if you are manually posting them all, and other scheduling apps don't even let you do more than one a day. Because Tailwind has features that are specific to Pinterest that help you increase your volume of pins per day, so you can like reschedule pins at a certain interval. So like I want this pin to go up once a month, or I want this pin to be re-promoted like around Christmas because it's about Christmas, and it will automatically schedule your pins for the best times of day, all that kind of stuff. But like I said, I haven't used it myself recently, so that's all the information that I have as of now. So it is not an absolute necessity to use Pinterest to grow your Etsy shop, despite what other people are going to tell you and try to cram down your throat that you need to use Pinterest. But between you and me, I think this is because Tailwind has a phenomenal affiliate program. I mean, that's why I joined it. I honestly think Tailwind is a great tool if you want to take Pinterest seriously. And I did see results when I used it for my makeup blog, so do with that as you will. In all honesty, I haven't made any like affiliate sales from my Tailwind link yet because I haven't really promoted it yet. I haven't really had a place to do so. Like, I used it and I really liked it and I signed up for the affiliate program and I didn't really have anywhere to promote it, but now I do, so I need to get back into using it so I can actually give you like information that may be helpful. So anyways, I hope this video in general was helpful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Were there any tools or products that I missed or anything that you disagree with? Everyone's experience is going to be different, so some things I think are necessary, you're going to think are a waste of time. Some things I think are a waste of time, you're going to think are really important. So If you've watched this whole video and you haven't subscribed and liked this video yet, you might as well. YouTube actually likes when you click the like button a little bit later on in the video instead of at the beginning. So don't go back and like unlike it and then relike it or whatever, but just so you know for next time. For more tips on how to start and grow your Etsy shop, I have a TikTok and Instagram as well, both at Type9 Studio. I do have a Ko-Fi page now as well. I'm going to be offering shop reviews there soon, sometime in the near future, so stay tuned for that. But that's all for me today. I have been filming for a long time, so I will see you in the next video and in the comments. Goodbye.